So hey there, this is Lee, and in this video we're going to be looking at how to connect the Twitter API to our Bubble app, our Bubble Twitter app that we're going to be building. We're going to sign up for a developer account. You can do that at developer.twitter.com. You're going to need to do that in order to get your API key. You can sign up for a developer account as long as you have a normal Twitter account. So if you haven't got any kind of Twitter handle or Twitter account, do that first. Sign up for a basic Twitter account. Then come over here to developer.twitter.com and sign up for a developer account. I've already signed up, but I'm going to show you the key screenshots that you're going to need in signing up. I find it helpful just to have these screenshots when I do tutorials, because sometimes you feel like you're missing a step. So when you sign up, you can expect to see a screenshot like this, which asks you to verify your email. It will ask you what the name of your app is. It will also ask you what's the name of your app, as I just said, where you're located, what's your use case, what you're building. So I put building tools for Twitter users. And then will you make they just ask to check if you're not going to give it to a government entity or anybody affiliated with a government entity. So for the purpose of this app, the answer is no. And then you can decide whether you want to opt in for updates, email updates. Once you've done that, you will get your key. This is the really important part. This is what we're going to be doing right now, is connecting this key into Bubble. You can make a note of that. I've blocked these out because obviously it tells you here to keep it safe and not share it with others, so that's why my keys are blocked out here. But that's what you need. The developer dashboard, you can see here's my app that I've created that I showed you on the last screens. If we click in here, you can see my keys are in here. I could regenerate these if I needed to. The main things we're going to need is the API key and the API key secret. We don't need the bearer token for this stage of what we're doing. So let's go over to our Bubble app. So if we open up our Bubble app that we created in the last video and come in here and go down to the tab which says plugins, we basically want to put that key, these keys that we've got here that we're keeping secret, into here. So basically you get your API key and you put that in the consumer key box, and you get the API secret and you put that in the consumer secret box. I found this quite confusing. You may not, because they're labeled differently, and then you don't know what to do with these the first time you do it. But basically just copy the key. It's the same key in the developer as it is in the live version. So it's like that. So you've got it in twice, and that's all you need to do to put your API key into Twitter. Very simple, and that's the first step. The next thing we need to do is go back to our app, and we need to turn on zero auth 1.0 turned on. So you can see mine's turned on. I thought I turned it off, but anyway, I'm going to turn it off and turn it back on again so you can see how to set this up. You don't need to request email from users. The actual Bubble Twitter app doesn't allow you to do this. I mean, go and look on the forum if you want to find out more about why to do this, why it doesn't allow you to do this. But there is a workaround which I am going to share in a future video on my YouTube channel of how to do that. But for now, for the purpose of this app, you don't need this request email. You can, for the app permissions, we're going to set this to read and write, and then you're going to see here I've already put in my callback URI and my redirect URL. This is basically the page on your Bubble app that Twitter is going to go and do the authentication of the user. So I'm going to show you how to set these up. So basically, if you go to your Twitter app, if we go to our blank page that we created previously and we open this up in a preview window, I'm just going to refresh this. It's doing that because I've put my API in. The URL, the part of the URL you need is this part, which if you imagine this would be your domain name. So if you had an actual domain name, for example, focustweet.io, without the bubble apps part, that's what you would put in. We put the version test part in because we want to test it as well, so we need both, and that is why in here you can see I've got the domain name and then I've got it with version test, and then I've got it in here as well. We put this in for syntax reasons because I've previously had issues when the / isn't in there. You need to put your website URL. Again, because we're building on a free account on Bubble, we're using the Bubble domain, so that is our current URL. But again, if we owned Focus Tweet, it would look like that. I hope that's helpful to see. So that's all you need to do. This is important, the callback URI, because that's what helps it. Helps Bubble and Twitter talk to each other. That's how I understand it. People with far more API knowledge and understanding would help you go into more detail about that. But for the purpose of what we're building, this is all we need to know, and this is the settings that we need. We've got read and write set up to read and post tweets and profile information. So going back to our app, we're all set up, and in the next video I'm going to show you how to start making this all work together now that we've got our API key in Bubble from what we took from our developer account. And I will see you in the next video. Cheers.